What is up, everybody? It's your boy Herf here, back on the Dueling's Entertainment channel. Okay. What up, everybody? It's your boy Herf here, back on the Dueling's Entertainment channel, and today we got a very special video for you guys. The top 5 techs for the month of December. So I really wanted kind of to wait until the meta settled a bit more before I made this video, so I could give you like the most accurate and useful information possible, which I think is these 5 cards right in front of us here. So to just dive right into it, what defines it as a tech card is a card that's typically being used in 1 to 2 decks to be able to compete with other decks in the meta, but it's not like a staple like Karma Cut, Floodgate, Kunadi. Those cards are staples that can be teched into decks, but they're still staple cards because everybody uses them in pretty much every deck. They're applicable to every deck, stuff like that. These cards are designed to be played in 1 to 2 decks to give them an edge over the other meta decks. So this is what we got here. So the first one, a lot of you guys are about to be surprised, but Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon is now a tech card. And the reason it's a tech card is because Desperado can special summon this off Super Team Buddy Force. And it is so good. You absolutely destroy any back row deck in the meta if you summon Reactor Dragon. Plus, you need this for like a Ritual Beast matchup. You need it for the Invoke Neos matchup because they have to boost their fusion preemptively. Otherwise, they won't be able to boost it when a Reactor Dragon swings. And Reactor just eats Window for breakfast. So really, really useful card for Desperado. Highly suggest thinking about taking it in, especially if we get into a more backer meta. Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon is what you're going to need because the deck doesn't have any other inherent back row removal. Putting this in there can really help you eat through the back row, force a lot of stuff early, and clap cheeks. Now, going into the second card here, Battle in Box Reveal, brand new card out of the new box. Probably in like the top 3 or 4 cards of the new box, and it's the surprising part is a card that a lot of people weren't even really talking about before the box dropped. But oh my god, is this card good for any Destiny Draw deck? So if you play Destiny Draw and you like want to play relevant hand traps, this card, okay, because I was thinking about this. So they swing, right? And when you take battle damage, you special summon this and then gain that life back. So when you gain the life back, that's essentially blocking 1 attack. Okay, they have to swing into this. That's blocking 2 attacks, and then your life points are still super high. So that's 3 attacks. This Veil technically stops 2 attacks, but it really stops 3 attacks, and that makes it the best defensive hand trap in the game so far. The only downside of it is that you have to take battle damage to use it. So if they have like a 4,000 attack monster and they swing in, like you're gonna die either way. Like that's why Sphere Karibo or the Harry Karibo can be a little better in some situations, but this card is just super, super good. Plus, it gives you a body on the field to maybe Xyz or Synchro with if you want. So all in all, I mean, it's a pretty neat card to play. I really think that pretty much any Destiny Draw deck should be playing this. So like something like if you're playing Destiny Draw Fire Kings, this is a really good card because Arvada can use any fire. If you're using something like Lunas, Dragoonides, stuff like that, this card is so good because, like I said, you essentially block 3 attacks. Now moving on, Forbidden Lance. This card is amazing. Okay, this card is very, very close to becoming a staple. The problem is it's just never used that much in the meta by like it's always used in like 1 to 2 decks, but it's never like widely used. So it's never really becomes a staple, but it's always a card that's good. And so this is really good right now. And something like Desperado is really good in Fire Kings, stuff like that. Anything that doesn't like to be Karma Cut, you should consider playing Forbidden Lance. I've even seen some people play it in Noble Knights, which is a bit risky because you really want to guarantee opening up a spell. But hey, if you don't auto lose to Karma Cut, that's pretty good in my book. So any deck that hates to be hit by back row, you could really think about Forbidden Lance for not only the effect of being able to be immune to back row, but also the fact that you can use it in the damage step, which is really important because we do not have a lot of cards that interact in the damage step. So a lot of times you can surprise people with Forbidden Lance. When they'll just try to swing into your monster, you flip up that Forbidden Lance. GG, no re. You were 2 steps ahead of them. They're 4 heads. You're 5 heads. Easy peasy game. I mean, not much more to be said about this card because it's really been around for a long time. I've talked about it a lot before. But moving on to the next card, which is going to be Debunk. This card is really, really good right now because it negates any monster effect that's activated in the graveyard or in the hand. So if Desperado is activated from the hand to special summon itself, you can debunk it. If any hand trap in the game at all is activated, which we have a lot of hand traps right now, you think of like the Arcana Force monster, the Desperado is not a hand trap, but it's essentially a hand trap. Battle and Boxer, Veil, any of those cards, debunk, poops on it. Plus, that doesn't even get into the to the Winda stuff like that. Winda, Blue Eyes. I mean, Debunk really does put in a lot of work right now, which is really surprising because not that many people are playing it yet. But I think it is definitely a card that's about to rise a lot in value. I was actually talking to PDS before the video. I was like, PDS, like, what are some really good cards right now? He's like, hey, people are sleeping on Debunk. So if it's good enough for PDS, man, it's good enough for me. I mean, this card can really put in a lot of work. Like the thing that's so interesting about this card is that the decks that it doesn't hit or like isn't played against, it absolutely does nothing. But in the in the decks or the matchups that it really counts, it absolutely obliterates any kind of strategy based on the opponent. Like in the Invoke Neos matchup, not only can you negate Shell to add back more shells so you can prevent them from being able to fire reload, we can also negate Winda. Like that's pretty. You can negate Invocation in the grave, so they'll never be able to recycle an Alistair because they only have 1 Invocation. That's pretty dang good. Also in the Blue Eyes matchup, they'll never be able to activate a stone because you're just going to debunk their stone, and then you're just going to negate it, and they can't summon extra bodies to the field. They can't get their Blue Eyes combos going. Witchcrafters, you're going to be able to negate their spells in the graveyard to add back, but that's not pretty good. You probably want to negate like the Shemitah, the Jennies, stuff like that, which is really, really powerful. I already mentioned all the Desperado matchup. Like, it's just very strong. And I don't know how much more to say about it because I pretty much explained it. But last card here, Ultimate Providence. This card is one of the best traps in the game. That'll probably be a bit controversial claim, but especially I've been playing it a lot with Noble Knights. You essentially get an Omni Negate because you almost always have a monster spell and trap in your hand that, especially like off of Boar's effect as well as the trap effect from the field will allow you to plus to your hand, and you're only using really 1 monster from your hand anyway, so any monsters you really draw most of the time just stay there. So Ultimate Providence puts them to use. And essentially, I mean, Omni Negates are good. Like an Omni Negate counter trap is really good, and something like Noble Knights you plus enough where it's like discarding that 1 doesn't really matter because you have so much card advantage generated from the field as well as from your trap, both on the field and in the graveyard. That, I mean, really, Ultimate Providence is one of the best going first cards in the game right now. Not only to negate monster effects, but you negate spell effects and trap effects. And I mean, the meta right now is mostly centered around monsters and traps. But if they do try to econ take, if they do try to Cosmic Cyclone stuff like that, you can say, I don't want that. So no, thank you. Ultimate Providence, negate. I mean, pretty much any negate in any capacity is going to be good for a deck. I mean, just look at Arvada, brought Fire Kings from irrelevance to like a solid, at least like tier 4 rogue deck, probably closer to tier 3. Like that's absolutely insane. So Ultimate Providence, just providing that Omni negate for any deck, can be really, really strong. So this is my and Ultimate Providence is being played in Neos as well as not Desperado, Neos and Noble Knights typically, because Neos can add a lot of cards off of Shell, so you're always going to have at least a monster negate live. But then if you have, they also play a lot of back row, so you'll have a monster and a trap, and then you'll also have probably a spare Neos Fusion off of Brave Neos searching it. So that's a good way to get to your Omni negate. And then, like I already mentioned, the Noble Knight combos and stuff like that. You get your boars. You send a Gwen traps and stuff like that. So you'll have a trap in your hand. Your balance will typically have 2 monsters in your hand to start. So you'll pretty much almost always have a monster trap, and then if you play a lot of spells as well. So if you have an unused equip spell, you'll at least have like, I mean, you very quickly get to, if you can't negate all three, you can negate 2 out of the 3, which is still insane value. But with that, I think that the video is going to end there. I really appreciate for all of you checking out the channel. And recently, YouTube changed the notification settings, so you no longer get notifications when we upload. If you just to subscribe, they changed it to like customized for everybody. So you're gonna have to manually go to notification bell, click all for this channel, just because you want to know when we upload, announce stuff like that from YouTube. So make sure you do that. It's really important. Make sure you subscribe if you like the content. Make sure you comment. You know, I read the comments. So hey, if you have constructive criticism for how to make the videos better, you want to see something in the future, make sure you leave that in the comment below. Or if you have a different top 5, I'd love to know that as well. Check out the Twitch because that's where we host our tournaments, and we have a lot of great new player streams there. And make sure you get in our Discord because we have free new player help. I said it, free, the best free new player help. It's amazing. So get in there, and that's actually how you join the tournaments as well. So the same value there. And I think that'll be it for me, guys. So I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for stopping by.